delusional, and disingenuous. He stands as a beacon of truth. He is Abuki Cabal. You are listening to Abuki Cabal.
Welcome to the Abuki Cabal Show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. So we had some interesting developments over the weekend. We had a young lady went up to the ancestral home of Dr. Martin Luther King and commenced to dousing it down with gasoline and tried to burn it to the ground. Why anyone, any black person would try to do something like this is beyond me. But thankfully, she was stopped from doing this by some passersby and some people who were visiting the location. People were just as shocked as I'm sure you all are to hear that this young lady took it upon herself to try to destroy a landmark of someone who risked so much for so many. But let's take a look at who this person is and try to figure out why on earth she would try to do something like this. So TMZ started talking about the incident early Sunday morning. And there was some video footage from some of the people who caught the young lady, their phones. And she tried to wave the people off and was, acting all erratic and whatnot. But she was just spreading gasoline all over the place. And it was it was crazy. So, it just doesn't make any sense. But the would-be arsonist, the article says, Laneisha, Shantrice Henderson, the mugshot says, and I don't know why they were blocking the woman's face out. I don't understand why they block out these people's face instead of showing these people who commit these acts while they're doing it. But the would-be arsonist, it says, tried to burn down the birth home of Martin Luther King Jr. in Atlanta, but her plans were foiled by a bunch of tourists who filmed the ordeal and restrained her. The 26-year-old woman was caught on camera Wednesday holding a large Wednesday. That's not right. Was caught holding a large plastic gasoline container and splashing gasoline on the front of the house, or a flammable liquid is what they were saying, because I guess they didn't want to say it was gas, but a flammable liquid on the front of the home. And you see the lady doing it, and they block out the lady's face. I don't know why the policy now is to block out women's faces when they commit these crimes and do these heinous acts. But we see that time and time again, there are all these attempts to protect these women's identities. Yet you don't see these same efforts made to protect anybody else's identity when they do these things. They just splash their face all over the place, and you're held accountable for your actions. But in this case, no, they're trying to protect this young lady from herself, I guess, or from the rest of us from holding her accountable. So check out the video. One of the tourists turns his camera on the woman and asks, "What are you doing?" The woman turns to him and says, "What?" before waving him off and continuing to vandalize the historic home. Two other people visiting the landmark grabbed the woman and held her down on the ground until Atlanta PD officers arrived and took her into custody. Okay, the suspect, whose name was not released, was charged with criminal attempt arson and criminal attempted interference with government property. She could face federal charges since the house is operated by the National Park Service, a federal-run agency. She should. Okay, and as you can see, the house is an older home, but still a beautiful home, especially for that time. Goes on to say that the Atlanta police chief, Darren Schreiber, I can't pronounce that. You guys got it. Okay. Gave credit to Good Samaritans, saying that the action saved an important part of American history tonight. The Atlanta Fire Department Battalion Chief Jerry DeBerry also pointed out the house could have been engulfed in flames within seconds if the witnesses hadn't come to the rescue. Okay, the King Center, established in 1968 to carry on Martin Luther King's legacy, issued a statement on X, reading in part, "Tonight, an unfortunate incident at the birth home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as an individual attempted to set fire to this historic property. Fortunately, the attempt was unsuccessful thanks to the brave intervention of Good Samaritans and the quick response of law enforcement." Okay. All righty. So that was originally published at 5:59 a.m. Okay, and that was over the weekend. All right, that's one article from TMZ. And that shows a couple of the individuals who held this woman down and saved the day. Thank you guys for doing that. Okay, let's go over to look at another angle. This is on USA Today, and they have a bit of video. Well, no, let's go to Newsweek. We'll go to Newsweek. All right, we got Newsweek there. Let's see, who is Laneisha Shantrice Henderson, woman who tries to burn down MLK's home.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, that's gasoline.
Some type of direction? Or you just felt like this is what you needed to do? Okay, Cherokee War Chief, what on the earth does that have to do with an MLK? Okay. And that's why he's putting you in a position in which you can still breathe.
They're on their way.
But you're...
Nobody's trying to hurt you. We just want to make sure the house, nothing happens to it. And...
No, we are just... Yeah, are you comfortable, young lady?
Hey, ma'am, you all right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be checked out by Grady or something? What's going on today? You want to stand up for us?
Okay. All right. So, there we have it. We have this young lady who looks like nothing's going on with her. And she feels like...
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know, she feels like there it's necessary to go and burn down a home, and people talking to her, and trying to be sensible with her, trying to get her to stop doing what she's doing. You know, telling her that it's gasoline. Clearly, they can smell that it's gasoline, and they're trying to stop her from burning the house down. Yet she waves them off, continues on with trying to destroy the property. And they hold her down. Another lady is trying to question her as to why she's trying to destroy the home. And she gets nothing from this lady. She sits there comfortably asking for the police as if the police are going to, you know, somehow, I guess, protect her from them or whatnot. You know, but it just doesn't make any sense. Excuse me. Oh, had to take a drink. So, but yeah, this is just, I know people are going to be rushing to try to say that this woman is not in her right mind and something had to have been going on, because I saw on Twitter where a young lady, a black lady came on and said that, you know, it was unfortunate that this woman did this, but she must have had her reasons. And I just don't understand how there's always someone who comes out, and it's always a woman who comes out that says that a black woman has her reasons for doing whatever it is that she's doing that's crazy and that's destructive, causes harm to people, usually men, as a result of something that they suspect that they must have done to this woman, you know. And we see it again with this. I mean, where they try to rationalize the destruction of Martin Luther King's home. The home was just sitting there. Nobody's bothering the home. Yet this woman felt like it was necessary to go and burn this house down. You know, when asked questions, she refused to ask questions and tries to continue, you know, her whatever it is that she was trying to do. So let's see what the article has to say. Okay, it says Florida woman. Okay, so she was a Florida woman. She's not even from Atlanta. So did she travel here to burn the house down? Who knows? Okay, a Florida woman is facing multiple charges after allegedly attempting to burn down the childhood home of Martin Luther King Jr., according to local law enforcement. Laneisha Shantrice Henderson, 26, is charged with second-degree attempted arson and interference with government property in Atlanta. Police Department, APD, wrote in a press release on Thursday she was repeatedly stopped by multiple citizens. Okay, it was on Thursday. Okay. So, in a press release published Thursday, that she was reportedly stopped by multiple citizens from causing any damage, including 2 off-duty New York police officers who helped to detain her per Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Okay. On Thursday, around 5:45 p.m., officers with the ADP responded to reports of vandalism in progress at the 501 Auburn Avenue. At 501 Auburn Avenue, that is where they say they found Henderson, who, according to the preliminary investigation, had poured gasoline onto the property. She was immediately placed under arrest and transported to Grady Detention Center for psychological evaluation. Henderson will be transferred to Fulton County Jail once discharged. An ADP spokesperson had no further comment on Friday to Newsweek, aside from saying the investigation is ongoing and could change as it progressed. Excuse me. So I misspoke earlier. I guess getting caught up over the weekend. Got my days mixed up. So it did happen last week. Okay, according to the records obtained by Newsweek, Henderson is from Brandon, Florida, and is registered to vote, but does not currently belong to any political party in the state. So why is that? Why is that the first thing that they're looking for? That's weird. Okay. A police report shows that officers seized a gasoline can and fuel at the scene, along with Henderson's iPhone and a black Chevy Cruise. Okay. Among the citizens who called 911, detained Henderson and required assistance were two males from Utah who were in town, who were in town for work-related purposes and were visiting King's home, which is designated a historical landmark. When the witnesses arrived, they noticed a woman in all black pouring what seemed to be water at the time over the bushes. According to the incident report, at this time, they didn't think anything of it, and proceeded to ask Miss Henderson if she was upkeeping the plants by watering them, but got no response. They asked additional questions and became more suspicious, eventually noticing the container did not resemble a watering canister, but a gas can. When they realized that what was going on, they started to plead with Miss Henderson to stop, but she was ignoring them. The report continued. It also seemed as if she started to rush and pour the gasoline out faster on and around the historical house. They saw no other option but to apprehend her, along with the help of other bystanders in the area. They tried to get her detained. While trying to stop her, Henderson allegedly was trying to spark a lighter to ignite the gas on the property and bushes. Bystanders took the lighter away from her and waited for the authorities to arrive. When Henderson was detained, she was wearing black socks and no shoes. Multiple surveillance cameras in the area reported capturing the incident on video, which is being submitted as evidence in the case. Local news stations WSB-TV says it spoke with Henderson's father, who related that she is a veteran going through a mental health episode. Her father told them they had been trying to find her for 2 days. Okay. Atlanta Police Chief Darren Sherbaum told WSB-TV that the actions of the two Utahns saved an important part of American history tonight. If the witnesses hadn't been there and interrupted what she was doing, it could have been a matter of seconds before the house was engulfed in flames. Atlanta Fire Department Battalion Chief Jeremy DeBerry also told the station. One of the Utahns, Zach Kempf, told the local station that the situation was a little scary for a minute because nobody knew if Henderson had any weapons on her. Meanwhile, the King Center issued a statement. Okay, I already read the statement. The home part of the King Jr. National Historical Park in Atlanta was purchased by King's grandfather in 1909 for $3,500. King was born there on January 15th, 1929, and lived there with his siblings. Okay. National Park Service, which officially acquired the home in 2018, closed it temporarily starting on November 27th and continuing until November 2025 for rehabilitation work. Okay. Wow. That's definitely not a good situation. And why would you, I'm just I'm trying to, wrap my head around why would you go to the King house if you had an issue as a veteran, which she may have an issue as a veteran against this, the state, whatever the case may be. I know a lot of us do have issues, and things that we have to hash out with the way that they handle us. However, I don't see how taking your issues to a civil rights leader's home to burn it down is a good way to protest that. I could think of a number of other ways that one could go about protesting issues that they have with the Veterans Administration. And if she is having issues with her meds or whatever the case may be, I feel for the family and not being able to find her and whatnot. I hope she gets the help that she needs. I'm glad she didn't burn down, MLK's home. But I will definitely be trying to keep an eye out on what happens with this, because this is interesting, and what she has to say about why she did what she did, and what maybe that's why they were trying to block out her face, but I still don't agree with that. I think if you're gonna be dousing gas on things, I think your face needs to be shown. You know what I mean? But be that as it may, interesting story. Weird things going on. At first, I thought this might have been some type of protest against the patriarchy, but I'm glad that it wasn't. But there it is. More and more is coming out as time has gone by about who this young lady is. Like I said, we'll keep our eyes open, and thanks for listening and tuning in. I guess I'll catch you guys on the next one. If you guys have anything else on it or thoughts about it, please hit me up in the comments, and we will continue this week with more on my thoughts on where this Me Too and hashtag Believe All Women is going to eventually lead us, and some more things that I want to touch on that. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys later.